Hello everyone, Chuck Whetstone here. Thank you for joining me today on this podcast. I'm going to share with you a song story on Chuck Whetstone Music today. And it is a song story about three friends of mine down in Ingleside, Texas, named Bruce, Robert, and Mark. Now, a little backstory. Now, on this blog page, you can see the story that is about to unfold and much more details. I'm just going to give you some highlights about this song and why I wrote it and how it came to be, all of that. And this is because three of my friends that I sang in a group with called His, on one night at a revival at our church at First Baptist Church in Ingleside, Texas. It was January 17th, 1972. It was a Monday night. I remember all that. And what happened here, and I'll tell it really short and you can read the details below. But at the revival, we had Reverend Jay Snell from Houston, Texas, or wherever he was living at that time, I'm not sure. But he came and he was our speaker for the revival. And I don't know when it started. Probably started on Sunday. Maybe it started on the previous Friday. I don't know. But it was Monday night. I know that. And we had the music. I don't remember any of the music. I don't remember anything he preached on. I just remember what happened at the end of the service. At the end of the service, my good friend Bruce Frudenrich went to the altar, and at the end of the service, when everything was all over, he stood up and told the pastor and told the congregation that he finally had become a Christian. He gave his heart to the Lord that night. And I was pleasantly surprised and shocked at the same time. And I'll tell you some more in a minute. So here we are, Monday night, and at our school, Ingleside High School, I remember it was finals week. And we were to be studying for finals that night, for finals to take place the next day. Two of us had plans to study at my house after the revival service, and we were going to do that, and that was Mark and Robert. And so somehow, I don't know what happened, at the end of the revival service, me and Bruce and Robert were so excited and so happy for Bruce. I mean, we were just ecstatic, happy, great. And what we used to do as friends, we would get in our car, somebody's car, and we would drive from that part of Ingleside out to the bay. The bay is on the water. And we would drive out there, and it wasn't very far at all. So we would do that as fun and something to do. It's a little very small town. And we would do that for fun, and we would laugh and have fun. And we on this particular night, me and Bruce were in the front seat, and Robert was in the back seat, and we were going to Ingleside on the bay. And we were going to go out there and just look around and turn around and come back to my house, drop Bruce off, and then we'd study. Well, on the way out there, we got pretty near the water and pretty near the shore. And we heard Robert in the back seat say, hey guys, stop the car. I need to get out and I need to get saved. And I said, what? Okay, whatever. So I pulled the car over. I think it was my dad's car. And pulled the car over. We got over in the sand, and Robert prayed and received the Lord Jesus into his heart that night, okay? So we're all excited. We're excited and ecstatic, and I'm shocked. Two of my friends I've been playing Christian music with for over 2 years have gotten saved, okay? Wow, okay? So we finish our tour of Ingleside on the Bay. We take Bruce back because we got to get to studying for our finals. This is midterms. And we had to get studying for our midterm exams. And we drop Bruce off at his house. We go to my house, and there is Mark Burley. He's there waiting for us to study. And so we tell him all about what's going on, and me and Robert are so happy. We're at the kitchen table, and we can't even study because we're so happy about Bruce got saved, Robert got saved, and this is just a great night. This is just awesome. And so there we were at the kitchen table, and we didn't realize that Mark had stepped away. And Mark went into the living room, which is, the next room. And my parents were in bed, I guess. They didn't make a sound. But we continued, and we didn't know that Mark slipped away. And momentarily we heard Mark say, hey guys, come here and pray with me. I want to get saved. Oh my goodness, we were in shock and also very pleasantly surprised because this has been a wild night. Three of my friends got saved on the very same night, January 17th, 1972. So later on in life, after by the way, if you'll read below this, you'll read, I'm telling you my recollection, read below and you'll read what Robert said and what Bruce said as well. And Mark, I've not been able to get in contact with. I haven't seen him since 2008. Anyway, so we were excited and happy, and the next day was, midterm exams, and the revival continued. I don't remember much more about that, except I did find out on Facebook that many young people came to the Lord that week during that revival, and we were so pleased with all of that. Later on, I moved to Houston, Texas in 1973 and went to school there at Gulf Coast Bible College. And while I was there, I was in a band called Theophilus, and we were traveling on weekends, and we did a big summer tour out to the West Coast. And on one of these events, I was the designated driver to drive between 4 and 7 a.m. And I was driving the van. The guys were asleep, two in the back, and whoever's in the shotgun seat, they were asleep as well. And I'm trying my best to stay awake because, look, guys, I'm not a morning person. I've never been one. I've only had to do what I've had to do. Being a church pastor for so many years, you had to develop the ability to smile and look good and be ready to go, at 7:30 in the morning. Well, that's not me, but you have to do what you have to do. So this one particular night, or between 4 and 7 a.m., whatever, I was on interstate highway somewhere, and I was trying to stay awake, and here I am driving the van. Everybody's quiet. I didn't want to turn the radio on because I didn't want to disturb anybody. So I just started thinking about Bruce, Robert, and Mark, and I started coming up with some words and a rhyme, and I came up with a melody. So as I was driving, I started singing this very lightly, very easy, a very small, short chorus, and I just wanted to keep the melody in my mind so I wouldn't forget it. And later on, at some point, I was able to, when we got to the next stop, I was able to get to a guitar or piano and figure out the chords to it. Very easy song to sing, and I hope you would sing it with me as I play it in the next video. But this has been a long song story to tell you about a very short chorus that I wrote in 1974. While driving the van, while three guys were asleep, and I'm trying to stay awake, and I'm remembering my three friends who got saved down in Ingleside, Texas on one particular night in 1972. So I hope you enjoy the next video. It's where I'm singing, playing the piano, and I hope the guys get to hear it. I've alerted some of them, and I've alerted some of their family that they could listen to the song. Thank you for joining me today, Chuck Whetstone Music, and next week I will share with you another original song that I wrote years ago that was based on the movie about JFK. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to say. Until next week, Chuck Whetstone signing out. Bye-bye.